A shocking phenomenon has taken scientists from all across the world. The deserts of Saudi Arabia are rapidly turning into fertile farmlands. In just 40 days, a once barren plot of sand in this landlocked desert nation has become littered with ripe, sweet watermelons, swelling under the Arabian sun. Did you know that Saudi Arabia is 95% covered with scorching hot deserts, infertile lands, no permanent river, and only 4 inches of rain each year? How is such change naturally possible? Stay till the end to know more. Flash floods have hit parts of Saudi Arabia as heavy rainfall has been recorded across the kingdom since last week. Saudi Arabia is known for its hostile climate with little rainfall and mostly desert and arid lands. The country of Saudi Arabia can be seen on this map. Saudi Arabia has a land size of 2.14 million square kilometers, which is nearly the same as Western Europe, making it the 14th largest nation in the world. Before we go into details of the causes of the increasingly miraculous farmlands in Saudi Arabia, it might do some good to know how dry this country initially was. We had long known Saudi Arabia to be associated with scorching heat, dryness, and deserts. In fact, Saudi Arabia is home to one of the world's largest deserts, Rub al-Jali, with an expanse of 6,500,000 square kilometers. This, in fact, was the size of the whole country. By the way, Saudi Arabia does not even have a single permanent river. Historically, the country has never seen an annual rainfall of more than 150 millimeters. Because of this, a large part of Saudi Arabia has been majorly dry, leaving just a small part of the southwest region for planting. Even up to the late 1960s, the country was recorded to still have as low as 400 square kilometers of fertile land, which is 0.5% of the entire country. At this point, you may wonder how the citizens had survived in terms of agricultural products. Well, the answer is plausible. Before the country started experiencing a breakthrough in the increase of farmlands, the citizens survived mainly by planting small fields with local crops. In contrast, all other necessary food items that could not be planted were imported. At the time, nanostrips of coastal lines were the only planting area, and only a few crops like dates and vegetables were grown. With a country that big, this limitation was no good news. Let's now explore the remarkable oil dam, a key component in Saudi Arabia's startling expanding farmlands. Even though the nation lacked water, in reality, Saudi Arabia is the nation with the greatest oil reserve in the world. When a significant volume of crude oil was found in a dam oil field somewhere in March 1934, the depth of the dam, which was 1,440 meters, was extremely deep. As a result, the nation quickly rose to own nearly 17% of the world's proven petroleum reserves. The Saudi Arabian government decided it could do more with the wealth of its oil resources, and so the miracle of quickly expanding farmland started. At the present, Saudi Arabia can be considered one of the 7 modern wonders of the world because of an area that used to be a hub for food imports is now a hub for the export of goods, including wheat, dates, dairy products, eggs, fish, poultry, birds, fruits, vegetables, and even flowers. Although it would seem that way, there's no magic at all behind the Saudi Arabian desert's quick transformation into productive farming. While some of the causes of this astonishing event were due to pure luck, a greater portion was a product of purposeful planning and acts made by the Saudi Arabian government. The government started making huge investments in technology, especially to bring advancements in agricultural technology. Although the Saudi Arabian government had earned billions of dollars via its precious oil reserves, it knew that these oil reserves would not last forever. So the Saudi Arabian government decided to invest in projects like drip irrigation that would vastly improve agriculture in the country. In 1985, Saudi Arabia achieved self-sufficiency in goods such as milk, eggs, and meat, and also significantly increased agricultural exports. The country produced a huge amount of milk during this time, with each cow producing about 800 gallons annually. Fish farms were also expanding, both on land and offshore sites, resulting in the production of seafood. Saudi Arabia became a huge exporter of shrimp to nations like Japan and the USA, with the black tiger shrimp breed producing the best results. Thanks to the government's efforts, Saudi Arabia quickly transitioned from importing wheat to exporting it. Building wheat silos in 1978 allowed for a quick transition to wheat sufficiency in 1984. Currently, major grain-producing areas such as Park Hill and Kazim produce roughly 3.6 tons of wheat per acre. Other cereals like millet and barley were also produced, and after a while, Grain production grew to such an enormous scale that it had to be restricted to preserve water supplies. The production of basic agricultural products like fruits and vegetables increased as farming and transportation techniques improved. Food including tomatoes, watermelon, grapes, citrus fruits, onions, squash, and dates gained widespread renown in the region and played a significant export role. The growth in farming operations translated into a greater choice of regional foods for the Saudi population. This led to the production of various varieties of dates, totaling roughly 500,000 tons annually. To combat poverty and food shortages around the world, several factories in the nation soon got involved in the manufacturing of thousands of tons of dates. The country's participation in international aid increased to the point where it was the second largest donor of food aid to the UN. The government played a significant role in improving the country's agricultural situation by offering farmers interest-free loans and technical assistance services, as well as access to cheap fuel, electricity, and water. Duty-free entry of farm equipment and supplies was also granted. In order to provide additional incentives, investment laws established in April 2000 gave foreign venture partners a period of up to 10 years without paying taxes. The Saudi Arabian Agricultural Bank, or SAAB, has also been giving out interest-free loans and subsidies to help farmers get the best possible yields. Organizations for grain silos and flour mills were founded in 1972, and they were in charge of purchasing and storing wheat, erecting flour mills, and creating animal feed. Modernized roadways were built to link agricultural areas with import markets. Being in Saudi Arabia right now ought to be a nice feeling, given a significant growth and improvements in the agricultural sector. None of this would have been possible without the work of the nation's Ministry of Agriculture, which implemented beneficial policies to assist local farmers. Saudi Arabia faced a major water problem that posed a challenge to its efforts toward economic diversification, particularly in the agricultural sector. The country desperately needed more water, especially because of its climate. To address this challenge, the government-sponsored capital-intensive programs benefited farmers with high capital requirements. Additionally, the government-funded research initiatives aimed at developing fresh food crops, raising crop yields, and discovering novel approaches to making crops pest-resistant. Agriculture research sites were located within several colleges across the nation, and local farmers and scientists also worked together. Water was a necessary component of agriculture, and Saudi Arabia's ability to succeed in agriculture depended on luck and ingenuity. The government resolved the water problem by using aquifers first. Saudi Arabia is not as dry as initially thought, and in the most promising urban and agricultural areas, deep tube wells were dug. This was a historic water source on which Saudi Arabia now completely depended on its quest for lush land. Saudi Arabians today rely heavily on aquifers as one of their main water sources. Thanks to the vast coastal regions that stretch from the Persian Gulf to the Red Sea, Saudi Arabia was able to take full advantage of its seawater resources. In response, the government quickly initiated large-scale desalination projects that transformed seawater into potable water for use in homes and businesses. The Saline Water Conversion Corporation, SWCC, played a vital role in this effort by establishing more than 27 desalination plants, which produced over 3 million cubic meters of drinking water daily. The resulting fresh water not only expanded the agricultural land, but also helped alleviate the drinking water shortage in the country. The nation finally advanced to what is now known as electric power recycled water to address the water problem. Reusing the water used for home purposes is part of this process, and many significant metropolitan industrial hubs, such as the capital city and others, established water recycling factories to aid in the recycling of water. These days, recycled water is primarily used to irrigate agricultural fields. All of these processes helped agriculture and quickly made water available on the land. If you like this video, hit the like button, and for more such related videos, subscribe to the channel.